Ladies and gentlemen, let me declare this to you. Time is not life, but life is measured by time. Every wasted moment is a slice of life you cannot retrieve. The graveyard is full of dreams buried beneath procrastination. But for you, this month is your opportunity to resurrect discipline, to form habits that redeem your time, and to align your life with your true assignment. I challenge you today to embark on a one-month habits challenge, not as a temporary hype, but as a transformation process. Because habits are the architects of destiny. Before we speak about managing time, routines, or eliminating distractions, we must address the foundation of all personal discipline: clarity of vision. You see, a person without a clear vision for their life is like a ship without a rudder, constantly moved by the waves of circumstance, drifting aimlessly through days, weeks, and years, never anchoring on purpose. Time in its raw form is neutral. It is neither your enemy nor your ally. It only becomes valuable when it is assigned to a vision that transcends the trivial. This is why most people find themselves busy but not productive. They fill their calendars with activities, yet at the end of the year they have no measurable progress toward their destiny. Activity is not the same as advancement. Being in motion is not the same as moving forward. The first key to maximizing your time and transforming your life is to sit down and confront the question, why do I exist? What is my assignment? Until you can answer that question with conviction, every time management system will become a burden, not a blessing. Because schedules without purpose are like maps without destinations. You must begin this one-month habits challenge with a personal vision statement. Not a corporate cliché, not a motivational phrase, but a genuine, intimate understanding of your life's calling. This vision is what will determine the value of every minute you spend. You cannot manage what you do not define. When you don't know where you are going, any road will seem acceptable, and every invitation will sound like an opportunity. But when you have a vision, you gain the power to say no with authority and yes with precision. I want you to understand this. Time is the currency of purpose. You spend it on what you believe is important. If you do not have a clear picture of what your future should look like, you will keep trading your hours for things that have no eternal value. So, how do you establish this clarity of vision? You must disconnect from the noise. Find a quiet place, free from digital distractions, free from the opinions of others, and begin to write. Don't wait for inspiration to strike like lightning. Seek it through reflection. Write down the things you are passionate about, the problems you feel burdened to solve, the dreams that have lingered in your heart since childhood. These are the whispers of your assignment. Align them with your talents, your skills, and the values you stand for. This is where your vision is born. Once you have articulated your life's vision, you must turn it into a guiding compass for your daily activities. Every decision, every commitment, every relationship must be filtered through this lens of purpose. Without this filter, you will become a slave to other people's urgencies. You will respond to the pressures of life rather than initiating the actions that matter most. Vision gives you the ability to anticipate rather than react. It allows you to be proactive instead of being tossed around by emergencies that do not belong to you. Most people fail to maximize their time not because they are lazy, but because they are busy doing the wrong things. Vision is what distinguishes movement from progress. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters, and clarity of vision simplifies your life. It removes the clutter. It eliminates the need for approval from everyone. It reduces the options and sharpens your focus. People who know where they are going live simpler, yet more powerful lives. As you begin this one-month habits challenge, I urge you to dedicate the first few days solely to writing, refining, and internalizing your vision. This process is not optional, it is essential. Without vision, you will form habits that are impressive to others but irrelevant to your destiny. You will build routines that look productive on paper but lead nowhere in reality. Vision is what transforms habits into tools of destiny fulfillment. When you wake up each morning with a clear vision, your day takes on a different energy. You don't waste time wondering what to do. Your agenda is dictated by purpose. You approach your tasks with urgency, not because of external deadlines, but because you recognize the limited nature of time itself. You see, procrastination is not a scheduling problem, it is a vision problem. When your vision is clear, procrastination loses its power. Purpose ignites discipline. In this 1-month challenge, vision will be your foundation, your anchor, your compass. Before you set goals, before you craft routines, you must first clarify the destination. Because it is the destination that gives meaning to the journey. It is your assignment that breathes life into your habits. Remember, time is a gift, but vision is the key that unlocks its value. The clearer your vision, the more powerful your time becomes. Once you have established a clear life vision, the next essential step is to design a daily routine that aligns your actions with that vision. You see, life does not respond to intentions, it responds to patterns. It is not what you hope to become that shapes your future, but what you repeatedly do. Habits are the architects of destiny, and routines are the scaffolding upon which success is built. The tragedy is that many people live their days by default, not by design. They wake up reacting to life instead of commanding it. Without a structured daily routine, even the most gifted individuals will find themselves busy but ineffective, drifting through days that lack focus and urgency. A well-designed routine is more than a list of tasks. It is a disciplined lifestyle that transforms vision into reality. The secret is in the morning. How you begin your day determines how you navigate its challenges. The first moments of your day are like the rudder of a ship. They set the direction. If you allow your phone, social media, or the noise of external demands to dictate your first thoughts, you have already surrendered control. But when you craft a morning ritual that is intentional, you declare to life that you are the architect of your own time. Start your day with clarity, reflection, and preparation. Set aside time for silence, for reviewing your vision, for affirming your goals. This is not a luxury, it is a necessity if you are serious about maximizing your time. Every habit that leads to success is born in the sanctuary of routine. This is where you eliminate the need for willpower. Because when something becomes part of your routine, it shifts from being a decision to becoming an automatic action. You don't need motivation to brush your teeth because it is ingrained into your lifestyle. The same principle applies to productivity. If you establish a time every day to focus on your most important tasks, you remove the internal negotiation that causes procrastination. You no longer ask yourself, should I do this now? It becomes non-negotiable, embedded in your daily structure. A daily routine also protects you from decision fatigue. Every day, life demands that you make hundreds of choices, but the more decisions you have to make, the more your mental energy gets depleted. This is why successful people simplify their routines. They automate the predictable so they can focus their creativity on what truly matters. Your energy is a limited resource. If you waste it on trivial decisions, you will have nothing left for the assignments that carry weight. Structure liberates creativity. The more disciplined your routine, the freer your mind becomes to innovate within the framework of purpose. Another dimension of a personal routine is rhythm. Life operates in seasons and cycles, and your routine must align with these rhythms. You cannot work at peak performance continuously without rest and renewal. Design your day with intentional breaks, moments to breathe, moments to reflect, moments to recharge. This is not laziness, it is strategic stewardship of your energy. A tired mind makes poor decisions. An overworked body produces mediocre results. Balance is not found in occasional vacations. It is maintained in daily rhythms of work and rest, focus and recovery. Your daily routine must also include a time of reflection. At the end of each day, take a few moments to evaluate your performance. Ask yourself, did I act in alignment with my vision today? Did I give my best to the tasks that matter most? Reflection turns routine into a cycle of continuous improvement. Without it, routines can become mechanical and mindless. But when you combine routine with reflection, you create a powerful loop of intentional growth. I must emphasize, a routine is not a prison. It is not about rigid schedules that suffocate spontaneity. It is about creating a framework that ensures your priorities are executed before distractions take over. Within that structure, you will find more freedom, not less. The person who masters their routine is the person who takes control of their destiny. They are no longer victims of circumstance, they become authors of their day. When you design your daily routine, it is crucial to align it with your personal energy patterns. Identify the times of day when your mind is sharpest and reserve those periods for your most demanding tasks. Use your lower energy hours for less critical activities. This alignment ensures that you are not just managing your time, but maximizing your effectiveness within that time. Remember, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And discipline is sustained through routine. If you want to change your life, you must first change your days. Because life is simply a collection of days, and destiny is the sum total of daily decisions. You do not stumble into success. You structure your way into it. Routine is the silent architect behind every masterpiece of achievement. In this month challenge, your victory will not come from occasional bursts of motivation, but from the quiet, daily commitment to your routine. It is this daily rhythm of intentional actions that will transform your vision from a distant dream into a living reality. You must choose to live your days on purpose, because wasted time is wasted life. One of the greatest tragedies in life is not being busy, but being busy with things that do not matter. Most people live their lives trapped in the tyranny of the urgent, constantly responding to the loudest demands, yet never addressing what is truly important. It is not that they lack time, but that their time is consumed by activities that add no value to their destiny. Time, my friends, is not managed by clocks or calendars. It is managed by clarity of priority. If you fail to prioritize, life will gladly assign you to its endless cycle of meaningless tasks. This is why I urge you to develop the discipline of identifying and executing high-value tasks every single day. High-value tasks, or HVTs, are those assignments that have a direct impact on the fulfillment of your vision. They are not always urgent, but they are always essential. They are the core activities that move you forward, the ones that multiply your effectiveness and create lasting results. Yet, these tasks are often overshadowed by less important activities disguised as emergencies. Emails, phone calls, unplanned meetings, and social media alerts, they all scream for your attention, but they rarely contribute to your purpose. If you allow these trivialities to dictate your day, you will find yourself exhausted by the evening, yet unfulfilled in your progress. The discipline of prioritizing HVT begins with intentional awareness. Every morning, before you dive into the demands of the day, you must pause and ask yourself, what are the top 3 actions I can take today that will bring me closer to my vision? Not what's easiest, not what's most comfortable, but what is essential. These 3 tasks become your non-negotiables. They must be scheduled, protected, and executed with diligence. If the entire day is consumed by these 3 high-impact activities, you have won the day. Because success is not measured by how many things you did, but by how many of the right things you accomplished. You must understand that productivity is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters most. Busyness is the enemy of effectiveness. Many people find themselves addicted to activity because it gives them a false sense of accomplishment. They equate motion with progress, but motion without direction is futility. It is better to spend 2 hours on a task that aligns with your life vision than to spend 8 hours on activities that merely fill up your time. High-value tasks are the seeds of exponential growth. When you sow into them daily, they compound, creating momentum that propels you toward excellence. However, prioritizing HVT requires courage, because these tasks are often the most demanding, the most uncomfortable, and the most mentally taxing. They require deep work, focus, and emotional energy. That is why many avoid them, hiding in the comfort of easier, low-value activities. But you must be different. You must develop the mindset that says, I will do what is necessary, not just what is convenient. This is the mark of a disciplined life. Prioritizing HVT is a habit of champions. In practical terms, this means you must allocate your peak energy periods to your HVT. Identify when your mind is at its sharpest. For some, it is early in the morning. For others, it may be late at night. Guard these prime hours with intensity. Do not allow interruptions. Turn off notifications. Close unnecessary tabs. Inform people that during this time you are not to be disturbed. Create an environment where your focus is sacred. This is how you honor your time and in turn honor your life's purpose. Additionally, you must become a master of delegation and elimination. Not everything that lands on your desk is your responsibility. Many tasks can be delegated to others. Some should be eliminated altogether. Every task that does not align with your vision is a thief of your destiny. You must have the discernment to distinguish between what is urgent and what is important, between what is noise and what is signal. This discernment is what separates the effective from the busy. Furthermore, planning your HVT should not be a daily improvisation. It requires foresight and preparation. At the beginning of each week, spend time reviewing your goals and identifying the key actions that will drive the most impact. Break them down into daily assignments. This proactive approach ensures that you are not reacting to life, but directing it. When you live with this level of intentionality, you regain control over your time. But understand this, prioritizing you tasks is not a one-time decision. It is a daily battle against distraction, procrastination, and the comfort of mediocrity. Every morning, you must choose to act in alignment with your destiny. You must choose to focus on the few things that matter rather than being seduced by the many things that don't. This choice will define the trajectory of your life. In this month habits challenge, committing to prioritizing HVT will be a game changer. It will revolutionize the way you approach your day. No longer will you be a slave to busy schedules and endless to-do lists. You will become a leader of your time, a steward of your purpose, and an executor of your vision. The discipline to prioritize is the gateway to a life of effectiveness. Because in the end, it is not how much you did that counts, but how much of what you did actually mattered. One of the most destructive enemies of destiny is distraction, not because it is obvious, but because it is subtle. You see, time wasters are not always evil things. Sometimes they are good things that simply do not belong in your life right now. Every minute spent on an activity that does not align with your purpose is an invisible theft of destiny. The enemy of a meaningful life is not always failure. Often, it is distraction disguised as opportunity. This is why, if you are serious about maximizing your time and transforming your life, you must develop the ruthless discipline of eliminating time wasters without apology. Time is life, and when you lose time, you are not losing a resource. You are losing a piece of yourself. There are people who live their entire lives as professional reactors. They react to messages, notifications, emails, and other people's agendas. They move through life with their attention scattered, their focus fragmented, their energy drained by the trivial. They mistake busyness for productivity, but when they pause to reflect, they realize they've built nothing of eternal value. Their days are filled, but their purpose remains empty, and the reason is simple. They have not mastered the art of elimination. Eliminating time wasters begins with awareness. You cannot conquer what you are not willing to confront. You must take inventory of your daily activities and be brutally honest with yourself. How much of your time is being consumed by things that are irrelevant to your vision? How many hours are lost scrolling through social media feeds, indulging in gossip binge, watching shows that do not educate or inspire, or engaging in conversations that drain your energy but add no value to your purpose? Until you face these questions with courage, you will remain a prisoner of distraction. But awareness alone is not enough. You must make a decision, a ruthless, unapologetic decision, to sever the ties between you and anything that compromises your destiny. This requires a mindset shift. You must stop seeing time, wasting activities as harmless. They are not harmless. They are destiny thieves. They are assassins of purpose. They may not kill you instantly, but they will erode your potential 1 minute at a time. until one day you wake up and realize that the opportunities you dreamed of have been squandered by small daily compromises. Elimination is a surgical process. It is precise, intentional, and sometimes painful. You will need to unsubscribe from unnecessary email lists that clutter your inbox. You will need to mute or unfollow social media accounts that add no value to your life. You will need to minimize idle chatter with people who have no ambition, no vision, and no desire to grow. You may even need to withdraw from relationships that drain your focus. This is not arrogance, it is stewardship. You are the gatekeeper of your attention. If you do not guard it, others will abuse it. You must also audit your commitments. Learn the power of the word no. Not every invitation is an opportunity. Not every request for your time deserves your attention. The people who achieve excellence in life are not those who say yes to everything. They are those who know what to reject. Your yes becomes valuable only when it is rare, when it is reserved for things that align with your vision. Every time you say yes to a distraction, you are saying no to your destiny. Another strategy in eliminating time wasters is to structure your environment for focus. Your surroundings influence your habits. If your workspace is cluttered, if your phone is filled with distracting apps, if your notifications are constantly pulling at your attention, you will struggle to focus, no matter how strong your intentions are. Environment shapes behavior. If you want to eliminate distractions, create an environment where focus is the default, not the exception. Turn off non-essential notifications. Designate specific times to check emails. Use tools that block distracting websites during focus hours. You are not weak. You are simply human, and humans thrive in environments that are designed for their success. But elimination is not just about removing external distractions. You must also deal with internal time wasters, the mental habits that rob you of productivity. Procrastination is an internal time waster. Overthinking is an internal time waster. Indecision is an internal time waster. These habits are often rooted in fear of failure, fear of imperfection, fear of judgment. To eliminate them, you must replace fear with action. Discipline yourself to act swiftly on important tasks. Don't wait for perfect conditions. Perfection is an illusion that paralyzes progress. Clarity comes through execution, not endless contemplation. In this month habits challenge, make it a daily ritual to identify and eliminate at least one time wasting activity. Every morning, ask yourself, what is the one distraction I must eliminate today to protect my focus? This habit will sharpen your awareness and strengthen your resolve. Over time, you will notice that your days become leaner, your mind becomes clearer, and your productivity multiplies. You will realize that you don't need more time, you need fewer distractions. Understand this. You are not eliminating time wasters just to be busy. You are eliminating them to create space for what truly matters. Space for deep work, space for creativity, space for reflection, space for growth. A cluttered life has no room for greatness. Simplicity is the breeding ground of excellence. When you master elimination, you will discover a powerful truth. Life becomes profoundly fulfilling when you spend it on things that align with your purpose. When people think of success, they often imagine giant leaps, massive breakthroughs, or life-changing events. But I have learned that destiny is not built in moments of excitement. It is constructed in the quiet, unnoticed acts of daily consistency. The principle of small, consistent actions is one of the most powerful truths that govern success. It is not what you occasionally do that changes your life. It is what you commit to doing daily, even when no one is watching. Success is not an event, it is a process. And processes are built through habits, small, seemingly insignificant actions that compound over time to produce extraordinary results. Many people are waiting for a big opportunity, a miraculous moment, a sudden windfall that will catapult them into their dream life. But life does not reward wishful thinking, it rewards disciplined doing. Small actions may not bring immediate gratification, but they create invisible momentum. Every drop of water, though tiny, contributes to the formation of mighty rivers. Every brick, though small, becomes part of a great structure. Your future is hidden in your daily habits. Consistency is the bridge between vision and reality. It is the power that transforms intention into manifestation. If you want to write a book, you don't need to write 100 pages in a day. You need to write a few hundred words consistently, day after day. If you want to build a healthy body, you don't need to spend 10 hours in the gym once a week. You need to commit to daily exercise, even if it's just for 30 minutes. It is the small, disciplined actions that most people overlook that become the foundation of greatness, but small actions are not attractive. They are not glamorous. They do not produce instant results. That is why many abandon them prematurely. In a world addicted to speed and instant gratification, patience has become a rare virtue. But you must understand, true growth is not exponential in the beginning. It is slow, steady, almost invisible. Like a seed planted in the ground, nothing seems to happen for days, sometimes weeks. But beneath the surface, roots are growing, foundations are forming. And when the breakthrough comes, it looks sudden to the outside world, but you know it was years in the making. This is the principle of compounding. Just as money compounds when invested wisely over time, your habits compound to produce outcomes far greater than the sum of your efforts. Small daily improvements, even by 1%, will eventually lead to radical transformations. But this only happens when you stay committed, even when motivation fades. Because motivation is fleeting, but consistency is what sustains progress. Consistency also builds credibility, not just with others, but with yourself. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you strengthen your self-trust. You prove to yourself that you are a person of discipline. On the other hand, every time you break a promise to yourself, you erode your self-confidence. The small disciplines that seem insignificant are actually forming your character. They are either building you up or breaking you down. You cannot escape the law of consistency. It is always at work, either for you or against you. I must also warn you, consistency is boring. It lacks excitement. It feels repetitive, but that is the test. Success does not belong to those who can act when it's exciting. It belongs to those who can act when it's ordinary. Champions are not made on the stage. They are made in the hidden hours of practice, when no one is clapping and no one is watching. The spotlight only reveals what consistency has built in the dark. To master the principle of small, consistent actions, you need a system, not just inspiration. You must design a daily routine that incorporates these small actions into your lifestyle until they become automatic. You cannot rely on willpower alone. Willpower is a limited resource. Systems make discipline easier because they eliminate decision making. When an action becomes part of your system, it transitions from being a choice to becoming a habit. You also need to track your progress, no matter how small it seems. Tracking builds awareness and reinforces your commitment. It allows you to see the invisible progress that accumulates over time. Every checkmark, every small win is a reminder that you are moving forward, even when the results are not yet visible. Celebrate these small victories. They are the building blocks of your larger success story. Another important truth is that small actions create ripple effects. A simple habit of waking up early can lead to increased productivity, better mental clarity, and a stronger sense of control over your day. A small habit of reading for 15 minutes a day can, over a year, transform your mindset and expand your knowledge exponentially. Never underestimate the compound effect of seemingly minor disciplines. What looks insignificant in the moment becomes monumental over time. In this month Habits Challenge, I am not asking you to change your entire life overnight. I am asking you to commit to small, deliberate actions every single day. Actions that align with your vision, actions that though small carry the weight of purpose. This is how you build momentum. This is how you develop mastery, not through occasional spurts of intense effort, but through the quiet power of daily consistency. Greatness is not a single act, it is a daily habit. You are not waiting for success, you are becoming it one small action at a time. The world may not notice your quiet efforts today, but one day the results will speak so loudly that no one will be able to ignore them. This is the power of small, consistent actions. This is the principle that will transform your life. Most people believe that time management is the ultimate key to productivity. They build schedules, create to-do lists, and segment their hours with precision. But there is a hidden truth that very few understand. It is not the number of hours you work that determines your effectiveness. It is the quality of your energy in those hours that dictates your results. Time is the canvas, but energy is the paint. Without energy, time becomes an empty shell, a hollow frame. You can have an entire day free, yet accomplish nothing of significance if your energy is depleted. This is why the masters of purpose do not simply manage time. They steward their energy. You must realize that your energy is your most precious resource. It is the fuel that powers your creativity, focus, and execution. And like any fuel, it must be preserved, replenished, and used with wisdom. A person who understands this principle will achieve more in 2 focused hours than another who spends 12 scattered, fatigued, and distracted. The difference is not time. It is energy alignment. Your energy is influenced by multiple factors: your physical health, mental clarity, emotional state, and spiritual alignment. Neglect any of these areas, and your productivity suffers. It does not matter how brilliant your ideas are if you do not have the energy to execute them. Therefore, optimizing your energy is not a side note. It is a central discipline in the journey to a life of purpose. Let us begin with your physical energy. Your body is the vessel through which your vision is manifested. You cannot fulfill a great destiny in a neglected body. Energy optimization starts with honoring your physical health. Simple disciplines like proper nutrition, regular exercise, and sufficient sleep are not luxuries. They are investments in your effectiveness. The food you eat either fuels your focus or fogs your mind. The quality of your sleep either sharpens your creativity or dulls your decision making. You must stop treating your body like an afterthought. A disciplined body becomes a powerhouse of sustained energy. Next, we move to mental energy. Your mind is a battlefield, constantly bombarded by information, distractions, and noise. Mental fatigue is not always visible, but it silently erodes your focus. To optimize your mental energy, you must practice the art of decluttering your mind. This involves strategic breaks, moments of silence, and mindfulness practices that reset your cognitive faculties. You must learn to step away, to breathe, to realign. A cluttered mind cannot perform deep work. Protect your attention like a rare jewel. Limit the mental load by simplifying decisions, automating routines, and eliminating unnecessary mental chatter. Emotional energy is another dimension often ignored. Your emotions are not just feelings. They are energy currents that either propel you forward or hold you back. Negative emotions like stress, anxiety, and resentment drain your energy reservoir. Positive emotions like gratitude, passion, and joy amplify your energy. Therefore, emotional mastery is essential for sustained productivity. Cultivate emotional awareness. Address unresolved conflicts. Engage in activities that uplift your spirit. Surround yourself with people who energize you, not those who drain you. Emotional hygiene is as important as physical hygiene in the pursuit of excellence. But above all, the highest form of energy is spiritual energy. This is the energy that comes from alignment with your purpose. When you are connected to a vision that transcends yourself, you tap into a source of energy that no fatigue can override. Purpose. Driven people operate with a sense of divine urgency. They are energized by meaning. They wake up with a sense of assignment that injects power into every action they take. When you are misaligned spiritually, no amount of sleep or food can fill the void. But when you are aligned, you can endure challenges with resilience because your inner fire is constantly burning. Now, in practical terms, optimizing your energy means designing your day in harmony with your natural rhythms. You must observe when your body and mind are at their peak performance. For some, it is early morning, for others, it is late at night. Schedule your most demanding tasks during these high-energy windows. Do not waste your peak hours on trivial activities like checking emails or attending unnecessary meetings. Those hours are sacred. They are the hours when you do your highest value work. Guard them fiercely. Also, incorporate strategic energy rituals throughout your day. These are short, intentional practices that recharge your focus. A 5-minute breathing exercise, a 10-minute walk, a brief stretching session. These small rituals act as energy resets, allowing you to maintain clarity and momentum. Understand that energy is not maintained by working harder, but by working smarter. You must learn to alternate between intense focus and intentional recovery. Eliminate energy vampires from your schedule. These are activities, commitments, and even people who drain your vitality. Learn to say no without guilt. Every yes to an unnecessary obligation is a no to your highest energy work. Discipline yourself to evaluate your energy after every meeting, every task, every interaction. If something consistently leaves you drained without a return on investment, eliminate it. Lastly, remember that energy optimization is a lifestyle, not a quick fix. It is a daily commitment to self-awareness and self-care. It is understanding that you are not a machine designed to run endlessly. You are a human being who must steward their energy with wisdom and grace. Productivity is not about squeezing more out of your day. It is about ensuring you bring your best self to what matters most. In this month Habits Challenge, focus not just on how you spend your time, but on how you invest your energy. Because at the end of the day, it is not the hours you count that will shape your destiny. It is the energy you bring to those hours that will define the impact you leave on this world. One of the most dangerous habits in life is moving forward without reflection. Many people are busy, always on the go, always striving, yet they never pause to evaluate whether their actions are actually leading them closer to their vision. Reflection is not a passive act, it is a strategic weapon. It is the discipline that turns experience into wisdom, activity into effectiveness, and movement into meaningful progress. Without reflection, you will repeat the same mistakes, fall into the same cycles, and wonder why your results never change. But when you make reflection a weekly habit, you gain the power to correct before small errors become permanent patterns. Reflection is a conversation with your future. It is the act of stepping out of the busyness of life to look at the map and ask, am I still on the right path? You see, life does not reward effort, it rewards effective effort. Hard work that is misaligned with purpose is just wasted energy. That is why, every week, you must create sacred space to reflect on how you spent your time, where you invested your energy, and whether your actions are aligned with your vision. Reflection begins with brutal honesty. You cannot afford to lie to yourself. In your weekly reflection, ask direct questions. What did I accomplish this week that truly mattered? Where did I waste time? Which distractions managed to sneak into my schedule? Did I execute my tasks with excellence? Was my energy optimized, or did I allow fatigue and stress to dictate my productivity? These questions are not meant to condemn you, but to awaken you. Awareness is the first step to adjustment. You must understand, reflection is not about dwelling on failures, it is about learning from them. Every misstep is a hidden lesson, but only if you take the time to extract it. The mistake you refuse to reflect on is the mistake you are destined to repeat. Reflection transforms failures into feedback. It turns setbacks into stepping stones. This is why successful people are relentless about self-assessment. They do not wait for others to evaluate them. They are their own harshest critics and their own best coaches. But reflection without adjustment is meaningless. After every reflection session, you must create an action plan. Reflection tells you what went wrong. Adjustment tells you what to do about it. This is where growth happens. Adjust your routines, adjust your priorities, adjust your strategies. Be flexible with your methods, but immovable with your mission. If a habit is not producing results, refine it. If a task is not adding value, eliminate it. If a strategy is outdated, innovate it. The power of reflection is only unlocked through the courage to adjust. Weekly reflection also prevents drift. Drift happens when you become so consumed with daily tasks that you lose sight of the bigger picture. You start to confuse busyness with progress. A week turns into a month into a year, and you find yourself far from where you intended to be. Reflection anchors you. It brings you back to your original vision. It reminds you why you started. It ensures that every week you realign yourself with your ultimate purpose. To make reflection a powerful habit, you must schedule it. Do not leave it to chance. Reserve a specific day and time every week where you disconnect from external noise and engage in deep self-assessment. This is your boardroom meeting with yourself. Treat it with the same seriousness you would a high-stakes business negotiation, because this meeting will determine the direction of your life. During your reflection time, document your thoughts. Do not keep your insights floating in your mind. Write them down. Journaling brings clarity. It transforms vague ideas into concrete observations. Over time, your reflection journals will become a treasure trove of insights, a record of your growth, and a map of your journey. You will see patterns emerge, patterns of success and patterns of weakness. And with that awareness, you will be empowered to make precise adjustments. Another key benefit of reflection is gratitude. When you pause to reflect, you begin to notice the small victories that are often overshadowed by your pursuit of bigger goals. Gratitude energizes you. It reminds you that progress is happening, even if it's slow. It fuels your motivation to keep moving forward. Reflection without gratitude can lead to frustration, but reflection infused with gratitude becomes a source of renewed strength. I must emphasize, reflection is not a luxury for people with extra time. It is a necessity for anyone serious about maximizing their life. It is not something you do when things go wrong. It is something you do consistently to ensure things stay right. Reflection turns life from a random experiment into a deliberate project. It shifts you from being a participant in life to becoming the architect of your destiny. In this month Habits Challenge, your weekly reflection sessions will be the checkpoints that ensure you are on course. They will expose hidden inefficiencies, reveal subtle distractions, and highlight emerging opportunities. They will sharpen your focus and accelerate your progress. Every week, you will become a better version of yourself, not by chance, but by choice. Reflection is the habit that ensures you are always evolving, always improving, always aligning with the highest version of yourself. The journey to a better life is not a straight line. It is a series of adjustments, course corrections, and refinements. Reflection is the compass that guides you through the twists and turns. Without it, you will wander. With it, you will advance with precision. No matter how disciplined you are, no matter how clear your vision is, the people you consistently surround yourself with will either accelerate your growth or sabotage your destiny. Environment is not just a physical space. It is the emotional, intellectual, and spiritual atmosphere that you live in daily. And at the center of that atmosphere are people. You see, relationships are not neutral. They are either adding to you or subtracting from you. They are either multiplying your potential or dividing your focus. This is why, if you are serious about living a life of purpose, you must make a deliberate, uncompromising decision to surround yourself with purpose-driven people. You cannot afford to keep company with individuals who have no ambition, no vision, and no desire to grow. Their conversations will become a weight on your creativity. Their habits will become a slow infection in your discipline. Their opinions will become chains on your boldness. You must understand that energy is transferable. The attitudes, beliefs, and mindsets of those around you will eventually seep into your own thinking. And if you stay long enough in an environment of mediocrity, it will begin to feel normal. Mediocrity is contagious, but so is excellence. You must choose which infection you will expose yourself to. Surrounding yourself with purpose-driven people is not about elitism or arrogance, it is about stewardship. You are a steward of your potential, and potential is fragile when it is placed in toxic environments. Purpose-driven people ignite something in you. They challenge your excuses. They confront your comfort zones. They hold you accountable to your highest self. These are not people who will flatter you with empty compliments. They are people who will sharpen you with truth. They will celebrate your victories but also correct your deviations. This is the community you need if you are to sustain the habits that build a better life. But I must tell you, finding purpose-driven people requires intentionality. They are not found in places of convenience, they are found in places of growth. You must go where they are, join masterminds, attend seminars, engage in communities that are focused on personal development. Align yourself with people who are on a mission. When you position yourself in an environment of growth, you will naturally attract connections that align with your vision, like attracts like. Excellence attracts excellence. You also need to evaluate your current circle. Take inventory of the 5 people you spend the most time with. What are their ambitions? What are their daily habits? What kind of conversations dominate their time? Are they talking about ideas, growth, and impact, or are they obsessed with gossip, complaints, and distractions? Your circle is a mirror of your future. If the people around you are not stretching you, inspiring you, or holding you accountable, then they are silently limiting you. But surrounding yourself with purpose-driven people is not just about receiving, it's also about contributing. You must become the kind of person that purpose-driven people want to be around. Are you disciplined? Are you growing? Are you a person of integrity, excellence, and focus? Relationships are reciprocal. You attract what you are. If you want to be in a circle of high-caliber individuals, you must elevate your own standards. Growth attracts growth. Purpose respects purpose. Another important aspect is to build relationships with people who are ahead of you. Mentorship is a secret weapon of champions. When you connect with individuals who have already navigated the paths you are walking, you collapse your learning curve, you avoid unnecessary detours, you gain insights that would take you years to figure out on your own. But mentorship is not something you stumble into. It is something you pursue with humility and honor. Be a student, be teachable, be hungry to learn. The wisdom of a mentor can save you from the pain of trial and error. Likewise, invest in peer relationships that foster accountability. These are people who walk alongside you, who understand your struggles because they are fighting similar battles. A strong accountability partner will not let you settle for less. They will challenge your complacency and celebrate your progress. Weekly check-ins, shared goals, and mutual encouragement will amplify your consistency. When you know someone is watching your progress, you are less likely to compromise. But beyond mentors and peers, you must also invest in those coming after you. There is a unique energy that is released when you pour into others. Teaching reinforces learning. Mentoring someone else sharpens your own understanding of discipline and purpose. It creates a cycle of growth where you become both a student and a teacher. This flow keeps you grounded in your own journey. In this 1-month habits challenge, your environment will either empower you or exhaust you. Surrounding yourself with purpose-driven people is like placing yourself in a greenhouse of excellence. Growth becomes natural, accountability becomes normal, motivation becomes a shared currency. You are not meant to walk this journey alone. Isolation weakens discipline, but community strengthens it. You must be ruthless in guarding your circle. Do not entertain relationships that constantly pull you away from your vision. The cost is too high. You cannot afford to negotiate your destiny for the comfort of approval. Choose alignment over attachment. Choose purpose over popularity. Choose destiny over distraction. The people you walk with will determine the pace of your progress. Walk with those who challenge you to rise higher. Walk with those who refuse to let you settle. Walk with those whose lives reflect the discipline you are striving for. Because in the end you will become like the company you keep. Purpose-driven people are not an option for a life of greatness. They are a necessity. As you stand at the threshold of this 1-month habits challenge, I want you to understand a truth that will define the rest of your life. Your future is not waiting for you somewhere in the distance. It is being created by what you choose to do daily, right now. Destiny is not decided in moments of applause. It is forged in moments of quiet discipline. The habits you form in these next 30 days will either become the foundation of your greatness or the reason for your regrets. You cannot change your life by hoping, wishing, or dreaming alone. Change happens through small, deliberate actions, compounded by unwavering consistency. It happens when you refuse to let distractions steal your focus, when you protect your time with ruthless discipline, and when you align every minute, every decision, with the vision you have for your life. This is not a challenge of time management. It is a challenge of life management. You have been entrusted with potential, but potential means nothing without execution. Greatness is not for the gifted, it is for the committed. The world does not need more people who are busy. It needs more people who are effective, intentional, and purpose-driven. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your future. And the bricks you will use to build that future are the habits you choose today. In these 30 days, you are not just building routines. You are building character. You are not just organizing your schedule. You are commanding your destiny. The discipline you master in private will manifest as success in public. Your life will not rise above the level of your daily habits. So choose wisely, choose focus over distraction, choose discipline over excuses. Choose intentionality over aimless activity. Choose people who sharpen you, environments that elevate you, and actions that align with your purpose. Because at the end of this challenge, you will stand before a mirror. And that reflection will not show you a changed life. It will show you a changed person. And when you change, everything changes. Your time has come. Own your day. Master your habits. Transform your life.